Hey everybody, Allie here from Misbehavior, and I'm sharing with you one of my new favorite behavior plans that's a little bit off the beaten path. Obviously, I would say that our goal with behavior is to always focus on making it positive based and positive outcome, and of course that's the goal. We want our kids to really be working on looking for positive attention and positive reinforcement across the board. With some of our kids that are really challenging, that is just not going to be the option. And we know that with trial and error, we just come up with what's best for our kids. So I have a student right now that we have a behavior plan that we've created for him that's a little bit unconventional based on behavior research and all of that, but it is honestly working really well for him. This student has a lot of challenges and struggles with managing his aggression. He has conduct disorder and severe PTSD as well as ADHD. And this student is in 3rd grade, and with just all those forces combined, it just creates a lot of challenging behaviors. And aggression comes in the form of physical aggression and verbal aggression. So typically with him, we see the chain of behaviors where it starts with verbal aggression and then turns into physical aggression. So with him, we're working on really lessening that verbal aggression and giving him some alternatives to use instead of being verbally aggressive. So what we've done is given him some sentence stems on his desk, which unfortunately I don't have for you, but I'll just kind of share with you some of that. We have little speech bubbles that we've put on his desk that just say things like, please stop, I'm going to get help from a teacher, I'm not going to engage with you, no thanks, a variety of options that this student can use as an alternative to the verbal aggression that he typically uses. So let me get to the unconventional part. This is, and I'm just going to cover his name, he's a big Marvel fan, so we've got some Marvel stickers on here to give him some buy-in, and he has 10 circles, and there's his name and it says chart, so it's his chart. So on here, we're measuring the number of instances of verbal aggression that he uses per day. So based on his IEP goal and his behavior intervention plan, we're working on obviously lessening the number of instances of verbal aggression per day. So every time that this friend shows me an instance, or any teacher or staff in the building, an instance of verbal aggression, he loses a circle. So this is sort of where behavior science is taking a right turn or a left turn or whatever you want to say. We're going off the beaten path because normally we don't really want to show the negatives to a student. With this kiddo, a lot of the typical stuff just doesn't work. So this is something that we've tried, just being like, hey, let's throw it out there and see what happens. You know, we've exhausted a few of our options. So this so far is working. So bear with me. So his friend loses some, depends on the time of year and what his benchmark is on how many is the goal. So he started off with, we want at least 5 to be left. We want you to, you know, achieve 50% on here, and just sort of raise the bar as the year moves forward. So as it goes on, he gets these visual cues saying like, yes, I use verbal aggression, pointing to give a visual prompt to what could we be using instead. You know, what are some instances where I could have used X, Y, or Z sentence stem or prompt instead of my verbal aggression. And sees the visual. This stays on a clipboard with the teacher and gets passed on to whatever, you know, let's say he goes to music or lunch or art or gym or recess or wherever he goes. I pass on the clipboard. It has this on here. He knows that every teacher has it. There is a dry erase marker that is attached to it. We've got this down to a science. Everybody's on board. We've got all the materials you have. Very simple. If it's not simple, people aren't going to do it. It's just the way it is. So what happens with this, right? What do? He's got these marked off. What's the buy-in? So together, now this is really important with him and with any kid. You need to make sure that when you're coming up with their rewards and what they're earning, the kids have all the input pretty much. What motivates you? What do you want to earn, right? So we discovered, now this kid is so fun. He loves the most unique, fun, cute things. I just love it. So like most 3rd grade boys, he's very food snack motivated. So if he gets 10 circles and he has no instances of verbal aggression per day, which is possible, especially at this point because we've been using this behavior plan for a little while. He can earn extra snack, laminating a picture. He is like a major little artist and loves to color like those adult coloring pages and stuff. And he wants to laminate them all the time. And we have a binder of his pictures that he carries around. So laminate a picture. He can print out his choice of 4 coloring pages or take a 15-minute break where he can do computer, basketball. We have a little hoop in our break room. Now, if he has 8 circles, this just sort of goes down. So instead of an extra snack, he can earn 5 Skittles. So it's still food, and that's super motivating for him. He can print out 3 coloring pages, 10-minute break, 6 circles, 3 Skittles, 2 coloring pages, 5-minute break. Goes all the way down to 1. If he has 1 circle left, I still want to make sure that he gets some kind of reward. Now, the option of choice is eliminated at this point, partially because it's really hard to come up with something for 1 circle. Like, what is something minimal? So we said 1 Skittle, which is still motivating for him. But if he has none left, it just says, try again tomorrow. So this has been really motivating for the student. And I wanted to come and share this video just to show that though behavior science and all of our articles and what our interventionists and our special ed teachers share with us is that this sort of chart or behavior plan in general isn't always the best, and it probably is not where you should start, but it doesn't mean that you can't try it if other things have not worked. So it just gives you some freedom. I hope that helps. My student is doing so well that we've had to, like at one point he was earning things like laminating a picture and getting extra snack at 6 circles, and now he has that at 10. So that shows that he has had success with this, and this is a student that would get into fight after fight after fight after fight, bring weapons to school, etc., etc. So though we do still have those instances, this is really motivating him to know that, like, hey, I do these things, I'm not getting what I want. And so ultimately shaping behavior. So I just hope that this gives you a little bit of creativity and freedom to try some things that are a little bit outside the box. Now, don't go backwards and start doing things that are so off the beaten path that we know don't follow behavior science, but feel free to just experiment with those kids that aren't really following the trajectory that we would assume, because we do have some outliers here in special ed. That's just the way that it is. We have some kids that just don't fit our standard mold, and differentiation comes in many forms, and sometimes we just have to think outside the box. So thanks so much for watching. If you have questions or you want to troubleshoot anything with me, please just send me a message, and I'd be happy to get to your question and try to help. Not a fixer of everything, but I love to problem solve, and behavior is my jam. Love to help. So thanks so much for watching.